Hey guys, welcome back to Gold Flame Junk Removal. So it's been a while since I made a video, but we've been super busy, of course, with spring starting and things ramping up and trying to get our systems in place. But when it gets super busy, once the temperature rises up a little bit more, of course, things are gonna be more busy. But I'm making this video because we recently did a demolition job, fairly large job, and we're thankful to God that we got the job. We did a couple demolitions, never to this size where we had to actually get a city permit and pay for that, and do a little bit more in-depth research and find different contracts, have them looked over in order to make sure that we're safe and also the customer. But the job that we did, gross revenue was $18,111. And I'm just going ahead and talk about this before I'll show you guys the video, because then I'll wrap it up after that. It was 18,000 total quote that we gave them. We required them to put down 50%. So they put down $9,055. So with that job, that really mostly covered that initial down payment, covered a majority of all of our expenses that we had as far as dumpsters, excavator rental, stuff like that. Because again, this is something that we did demolitions before, but to this size and to this extent, we knew we were going to need some more heavy duty equipment, and we knew we were going to need a lot of dumpsters, and we really didn't know how to estimate it, seeing that this house had a basement as well. So we had to make sure that we just basically overquoted for everything. Now, we didn't want to rip the customer off, but we had to make sure that we were covered by adding an extra 25% on everything. So if we thought we needed 4 dumpsters, well, we added an extra dumpster onto that. You know what I mean? Like, just add that extra coverage just in case. And so that gave us a good cushion, and that's really what saved us, to be able to make this job profitable and not go into that next final payment of $9,000. That was our goal. We really knew that this job was going to be kind of stressful. So we wanted to make sure that it was worth it. You know what I mean? As anything, you don't want to do a job and then, you do a whole bunch of work for, 10% or 50% profit. No, we wanted to stay, at 50% or right under 50%. That's where we were. We made about 40% profit, 40%, which I think, $7,000 or whatever $7,000 is. That's the profit we made after all of our expenses, dumpsters, excavator, skid steer, and permits, all that stuff. That was our profit. So now we're gonna get into the video, let you guys see how everything kind of worked out, the process of how it was. At some points it did seem overwhelming. I mean, it seemed like, man, what do we get into? But as the days went on, the Lord's truly blessed us to be able to do the job and to just take it one day at a time and learn. That's the most important thing, is as we're trying to grow this company, we want to do a little bit of everything to kind of see what we can systematize and what we can make easy for the future. So yeah, let's get into this, to the video showing us tearing down this house. Thank you guys.
Hey guys, so this is the excavator that we rented. It was a 18,500 pound excavator. Did a great job, and we got it from Sunbelt Rentals. Awesome guys there. This is us tearing down, the initial start of tearing down the house. We'd already basically tore down the front, like the front porch area. So that's what you see is already kind of messed up. This house had been in a fire. So the fire started. It was a nursing home that was using this property, this house that was on the next lot. They were using it as a storage unit, basically. So they store all their paperwork for all their residents, as you would say, mask and gloves and stuff like that. So it was basically used as storage, which explains why the house, burnt down. Whether it was electrical or whatever, there's a whole lot of fuel for that fire. So it burned down basically the back of the house. Yeah, as you can see, the walls are black. Most of the wood is burnt. So yeah, I'm glad we didn't have any problems having, or have to get any kind of reports from the fire chief or anything, or fire marshal or whatever. The process is pretty simple. Here we've got the house mostly tore down, or it's fully tore down. That's just a lot of the extra debris, and this is us, tearing down basically the back half of the house. We had to get Duke Energy to come out and separate the electricity from the house. There was still a live wire We also had Piedmont Natural Gas come out and remove the meter and all that stuff just to keep us from having any issues and marking it for us. Yeah, this is us pushing down the house, the last few parts of it. And mind you, we still have a basement. So even when the top is gone, you know, we still had to tear out the basement, get all the brick from, you know, underneath the house. But the house is still very structured. I mean, older homes, this house was built in 1928. So older homes were definitely way stronger. They were just built better. I mean, even the burnt parts of the house were still holding up. I mean, to an excavator. You know, it took a good amount of time. It took us about a day, you know, a full day to get the house initially tore down. And it took us 3 days to get dumpsters, just because we weren't really familiar with the process, and we had to get so many that a lot of people didn't have them available. So we had to go through a contractor to get a bunch of different dumpsters from a bunch of different companies to, you know, to kind of pull this huge job off. As you can see in the bottom left or near where the excavator is, that's the door leading to the basement. They said it was a crawl space, and we couldn't really go in there because it was flooded due to all the fire damage. It put holes in the floor, and so as it rained, flooded the whole bottom of the house, and we couldn't get in there. We didn't know if there was any live wires or whatever. Didn't want to take any chances, but we kind of guesstimated what was going on, and it was bigger than we thought. But good thing that we over quoted. I would say, again, not to rip the customer off, but just to make sure that we're covered. That's the basement right there. As you see, some of the bricks have already failed. I mean, it was a lot of debris. I mean, again, at some point we felt, you know, as if, man, what if we bit off more than we could chew? But glad that we stuck with it, you know, and got the job done. And this is towards the end. I mean, we had a little bit left to go, a lot of gloves, you know, a lot of extra cleaning. You never think when you're doing a demolition that there'll be so many small pieces, but with the house being so old and so many of the pieces being under pressure for so long, I guess it just made them just shatter into a million pieces, or maybe just breaking it, who knows. But took a while. This is the final product. You know, we got everything removed. It was tedious, but we got the job done. And the Lord blessed us to be able to finish this job and get it done. Thank you guys for watching.